life seems like an uphill climb. Try with all your might but fall behind. But you can shine. Shine, 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 you can shine. Just like me, I think you'll find that friend of the devil ain't no friend of mine. You can choose the high road every time. The path is steep, but you'll have a peaceful mind. Then you'll shine. Shine, 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 you can shine. Just like me, I think you'll find that friend of the devil ain't no friend of mine. Wrong. It's hanging with the fools, that's just a waste of time. You wanna shine. Shine, 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 you can shine. Just like me, I think you'll find that friend of the devil ain't no friend of mine. Just like me, I think you'll find that a friend of the devil ain't no friend of mine.
It is Younger Life Live right here with Girard Media LLC. What did you think of that track?
Beautiful.
It was awesome.
That's a wonderful way to start the show. I love it.
I so love it. Welcome to another edition of Younger Life Live, youtube.com, streaming live around the world on our corporate radio partner, WIMS, WIMSradio.com. Rick Federici.
And I'm Mary Anthony.
I so am happy to be here with you. What a great day to be alive,
you.
huh?
Yes, I know.
I missed you.
It's been definitely different the last couple days, but it's an awesome day, and I'm so excited today to be talking about music. You know, we've done a couple different shows actually on like music therapy and the health benefits to music, and we're doing that today in such a bigger way, I think.
So cool.
Live.
Well,
it's so cool.
As you know, you pulled up. Jackie's outside, our executive producer, Jackie Beisel. Thank you, Jackie. And then Jim St. James pulls up, and I saw him in the cameras pulling up along the corporate studios here for Younger Life Live and WIMS. And I'm like, what a killer ride
I know. He actually
there.
beat me. So when I'm pulling in, I'm thinking, which isn't a surprise. Everybody knows I run to the last minute.
You and your posse.
So I, as I'm pulling in, I'm so excited. It's exciting. And, you know, from the medical standpoint, the, music eases, they use it for therapy for a reason. It eases pain. It reduces stress. It also helps motivate people. You know, we already know that. We had, it doesn't just help motivate people as far as in sports, but it also can improve performance. It can increase your endurance, which is crazy. One documented thing we talked about before, it's because of the relaxation that it can induce, it actually can speed up a post-workout recovery or any of those things. We already know music helps our sleep quality. You know, when we had done that before, I saved those notes because it was so fascinating to me. I just couldn't get over how many benefits music has from a medical standpoint, from our health, not just something that we, love. Everybody love. I mean, most of us love music, especially
all
here.
Genres. We're all about our music.
All kinds of music.
No
and
discrimination.
I love that. I love it, and but it does so much more for us than we really realize. So
I'll tell you, I put one of Jim's tunes in rotation this morning, and I got some excellent feedback from the audience.
Oh, good.
We started out Younger Life Live with Shine. Let's turn our cams over to Jim St. James, and let's say hi to him and bring him into Younger Life
Please
Live.
do.
So great to see you today. Thanks so much for being here. How are you?
Great to be here. Doing great.
My gosh.
See you. Thanks for having us.
It is so cool. First and foremost, we're going to find out a little bit more about you, the artist, the person. That track, Shine, was beautiful. What a great way to
beautiful.
start out the program. Where did that come from? Where did that evolve from? I'm just curious.
Well, I wrote the music first and really didn't have a direction as to where the words were going, and it sat around like that for a few months. And as a matter of fact, it had a couple different mock titles because of ideas that I had. And one day, though, it just all fell into place. It was one of them things where I thought, that's what everyone wants to do, is shine. We want to feel good.
Absolutely
we are so
true.
all about that here at Younger Life
Yes.
Live.
We're all about positive as much as we can, positive energy,
Right.
and working that into our lives, and to put that out there for everybody around us too. It's important,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's-
When I came to the conclusion that the shine thing was in my head, the song just came out in minutes.
wow.
I had it written in a couple hours. So
That's incredible to me.
we're happy with that one. We like it a lot, and it seems to go over good with the audiences.
beautiful.
I so love it. So, what would you classify the stuff that you play out there? You probably do a lot of different things. What would you classify that as for people out there? Because everybody always has to put it in a category. Personally, a lot of us jam and just, it kind of comes
Yeah.
out like Jim said. But what would you?
Yeah,
What would you classify?
I mean, I've been at this for a few years, so it's I used to be in the folk music category, and then it became acoustic category, and then it became the Americana category.
Yes, he's so right.
It's so funny.
It is
It-
so
it
true.
is.
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm going on long enough to watch the changes in society with the blends of music, while pop radio has evolved into what it has, and country music has turned into what it has with this new country sound, or bro country as we call it on the side.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely.
I would say it's a acoustic Americana. And we got a touch of country in some of our stuff, so that's where we're at.
I'm so digging that. So let's chat a little bit, because we're going to talk a little bit more about music. Now, who is accompanying you today here in the studios? Come on in. Just walk right in. Please feel free. On camera, online,
I know.
on
I love
WIMS.
it.
We're all over the world right now.
Yeah.
So we love this. And this is what we're all about. See, being the radio station owner of WIMS and WHFP up in AM 1060 land in St. Joe, Michigan, we kind of do what we want to do. One of the things that Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, our group loves around here, we love our music. We love the live and local. And no one can take that away, quite honestly.
That's pretty
Not
awesome.
to be cocky, but that's what that's why we're different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, creative freedom. What a blessing.
So
Yeah.
agree with you on that. I so love what you guys are about. Introduce yourself there, please, young man.
Hello, my name is Scott Jordans. It's spelled Zkott, and that's because I am Hungarian, and I'm attributing my roots by spelling it
I
that
got the
way.
Hungarian spelling going.
Oh,
Wow, that is
That's
totally
awesome.
cool. That is
How
great.
really neat, yeah.
How did you guys connect? And if you wouldn't mind, just kind of tell us a little bit about how you
Yes,
guys
please.
got together to jam and stuff like
that's
that.
my favorite part.
Yeah.
Meeting new people. I always want to know how you got to where you
Well,
are.
great.
It's
This is a
amazing.
good story
And
for
this
you.
is our
Okay.
favorite story to tell. I was vacationing in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. My grandparents and we would vacation every year, and I have cousins and other grandchildren now. But for the first 7 years of my life, not only was I an only child, but I was the only kind of kid in the family. So I was very, very extremely spoiled, and
Rock on.
yeah, exactly. I hear you. And so it was me, my grandma, my grandpa, and we were kind of like the three amigos of the family. I was their traveling buddy. We were just a lot closer than anyone else because it was just us for the longest time. So,
You ended up in Gatlinburg.
yeah, so we would travel every year. We would go to Florida sometimes, and we went to Florida like 3 times in a row, and we're like, you know what, this year we're going to switch it up. We're going to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And at this point, usually I would always jam or play music with somebody.
Sure.
I'd always have some band going on, but when this year came around, it was a while. It was a while since I had jammed with anyone. And so, I was like, well, we're in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We're right next to Nashville. I got to be able to find some kind of musician to jam with around here. So I looked online, and I started to search Nashville musicians in the area, or, musicians in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And I found a guy named Jim St. James based out of and recorded in Nashville, Tennessee. And I was like, this is perfect. This is what I'm looking for. And so I called him up and I said, hey man, I know you're in Nashville, Tennessee. can we jam or something? And
I'm just like, wait a minute, who is this?
That's how weird. I mean, how weird for someone just to
I could tell too. His voice was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, well, who is this? And he says, well, I'm Scott Jordan. And he says, I'm just looking to, jam with somebody. And you're in Nashville. And I said, well, how old are you? And he told me at the time, I think you were 17 or 18.
17.
Really? Wow.
And he says, I'm 17, 18, whatever he told me. And I thought, well, okay. I said, well, look. I said, son, I'm not even in Tennessee. I said, I'm actually from LaPorte, Indiana.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And then the kid says, but wait a minute, are you kidding me? I'm from LaPorte, Indiana.
You
Oh,
thought
my
he was
goodness.
BS, Jim.
You know? And so it turns out that not only were we both from the same town and didn't know that, but we also lived on the same road.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he
saw him
remembers-
mowing his lawn and
he
stuff
remembers
and never
seeing me
knew.
with this weird beard
Never
in my
knew.
hat, mowing the grass out there.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
It's just
And you know him-
synchronicity at work. I
You know
think.
him as Java, Java Jim, and I've heard that name before too, but I was too young to go into his cafes.
Those are from my former coffee house days.
Yeah, and I just never knew him. I never even met him before and in person, but I've always seen him, always heard his name.
So
And-
we started
is
Skype
crazy.
rehearsing, and he was actually at Indiana University
Yeah.
studying in jazz performance in his first year there.
Hmm.
And he was ready to go out on the road, and I said, well, get the degree down first, and see what happens with that. And he lasted at it for about a year, and then we Skype rehearsed, and when I'd come back into LaPorte from tour, I'd get together with him in the wintertime. And the very next year, we took off. Now he's done, I guess, at least 600 or 700 shows with me around the country.
Wow.
Holy cow.
We're out west and throughout Arizona and New Mexico, Texas, all over the Gulf Coast, and we're a testament to the fact that we were supposed to meet because we're still doing it.
Absolutely.
And we
Wow.
love it.
That's amazing. Honestly, that's incredible. It's always funny to me to be away on vacation and hear of anyone's, oh, they're from Indiana too, let alone the same town, the same street. I mean, that is incredible.
crazy.
That's amazing. It
But
really is.
I'm going to put the good Lord in here because I can. I'm all about my big G, do my rosary every day and all that good
yes.
stuff. I'm all about it. But I believe that karma,
Yeah.
in a cool, creative way, kind of brought these two gentlemen together.
Oh, certainly.
How did it feel, if you guys don't mind, you guys are Skype jamming, when you guys played for the first few times and kind of connected? Jim, obviously you being a seasoned, experienced musician, obviously you guys both working together. Did you feel that connection right away in terms of the jamming part of it?
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
I thought that I really wanted him to stay at IU,
Yeah.
and get a little bit further in that, but he was worried about becoming more of a technical player than a player that would play with his heart. So,
Robot,
like going into robotics, and so my idea of get the bachelor degree first didn't pan out in the end. But yeah, I felt it from the beginning, even before we were seasoned together enough to play a song all the way through. I could see and hear and feel the potential
Wow.
of what was happening. And so here we are. We're still at it, playing all over. We'll be down on the Gulf Coast here soon again, and we've got shows coming up in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're having a great time. So yeah, and I'm a big believer myself.
This is going to be great.
You're
You
here.
guys.
So that's so I believe that it was supposed to happen. and-
Yeah.
and
Oh, I
God's
agree.
behind everything. It is karma. It's God's
So
Absolutely.
you guys are going to be jamming at the Lebesnick Center for the Arts, the Art and Artisan Festival, which is this weekend.
It is. We talked to them. They were in here and we were discussing
Several
the
times,
festival.
yeah.
It's such a cool event, and I think it's amazing that you guys are going to be there because we're always talking about different studies too. But there was a study that obviously we know creativity is good for the brain. It's good for your skills long term, memory retention, stuff like that. But you also reap those benefits if you're not the one performing, just the one witnessing. So just to be there and absorb the art that you guys are giving and to see the art there is so good for all of us. It's fantastic. I love
I
it.
just got an instant text right now. Shut up and let them jam. That's what I just got. Lebesnick Art and Artisan Festival coming up this weekend, an alternative state of mind through the 21st. Contemporary art, live music, food, and art activation. So many cool things. LebesnickCenter.org. Yeah. And I want to remind folks too, Tour de LaPorte is this weekend.
Yes.
We'd like to thank the LaPorte Hospital for the sponsorship of this very radio and TV program, Younger Life Live with Rick Federici and Mary Anthony.
fitted both in this weekend, and you not only work your body but your brain too, and it's just amazing. One little fact that from the time we did the study, I have to point out, listening to music can be as relaxing as a massage. I mean, honestly, now that's incredible because we've talked about massages too. I think that's amazing. So
I think it's awesome. Are you ready?
let's
Look at her.
dig in.
She's ready.
I
All right.
love it.
So, gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind, please set this up for our Younger Life Live audience, both on the viewing standpoint and from the radio standpoint of Gerard Media LLC. What track is this called? And set it up a little
Well,
bit.
we're going to go ahead and play Shine For You live. Since it's
awesome.
good.
Fantastic.
We'll
So
play that
cool.
one first. And yeah, we are there. We're going to be there this Saturday, which is also my birthday, so I'm looking forward to that.
Happy
Is it
25th.
Birthday. Oh yeah,
Happy
25
birthday.
times 2 plus several years, but we're
Yeah.
doing good. Yeah, so we're happy to be there. There's a bunch of great acts that the 2 days too. I mean, Stealing the Farms there, and the Cuban Orchestra, Rory Carroll, Freak Johnson, Scott Pizarro's Funk Implosion. It's going to be a great 2 days. Not to mention all the art and food and stuff.
That's it. It's
what
amazing.
It's a family
Yeah.
event ready to roll. This is like just pre-tuned for good times.
And Rick Federighi's going to be doing his roving live broadcast that day, so I'm going to stop
Wow,
by
even better.
and say hi to you guys on
All right.
2
Fantastic.
radio stations, so we'll talk to you guys about that.
All right.
All right, so without further ado, from the Younger Life Live studios, we've got these guys jamming at a track called Shine.
Sometimes life seems like an uphill climb. You try with all your might to fall behind, but you can shine. Shine, 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 you can shine. Just like me, I think you'll find that a friend of the devil ain't no friend of mine. You can choose the high road every time. The path is steep, but you'll have a peaceful mind, and then you'll shine. Shine, 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 you can shine. And just like me, I think you'll find that a friend of the devil ain't no friend of mine. If you remember one thing from this rhyme, it's hanging with the fools, it's just a waste of time. 'Cause you wanna shine. Shine, 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 you can shine. Just like me, I think you'll find that a friend of the devil ain't no friend of mine. And just like me, I think you'll find that a friend of the devil ain't no friend of mine.
I wanted to listen to that all
Isn't
day.
that just beautiful the way it just evolved in
It
this
is.
room and just so
Gorgeous.
cool. So when you guys are performing this upcoming weekend, when you guys jam up, but more specifically this weekend, so you guys are gonna obviously do tracks like that. So it's gonna be you two together jamming.
Yes.
You guys just sound so awesome
you.
together.
It's incredible.
I just absolutely love it. So tell me a little bit. So for those of us that know and have seen when Jerry was alive, the Grateful Dead, not anymore, and have experienced it, there's a line in there from a Dead song, but you're kind of spinning it. How did that, if you don't mind, I'm just kind of curious.
Well, yeah, there is, and you're not the first one to mention it, but
yeah.
Yeah, and nothing against the Dead. I'm a Dead fan. I love the Grateful Dead. But the fact of the matter is that the friend of the devil ain't no friend of mine, and he ain't. And I wanted to say that just as much as it is the other way around in the Dead song, which I know they didn't mean anything derogatory about it, but I'm just making a statement, and that is that running around with fools and running around with the devil's wares is not cool. It's not conducive to a good life or feeling good or being healthy and mind, body,
Living
and
longer.
spirit.
That's what we're always talking about.
Yeah,
Way longer.
A friend of a devil ain't no friend of mine.
Have you always been involved in music then?
I have. I started playing, trying to play at 11 years old.
Yeah, wow.
That's awesome.
And I remember reading the, I was the first of 5 children, so my parents still had time to keep a baby book. And I was going through the baby book, and they said, we're trying to teach the baby Hickory Dickory Dock, but he wants to sing Bye Bye Love by the Everly Brothers.
I
Oh, my
love
God.
that.
When I read that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah,
It's always
I'm
been
right.
you.
This has always been around this way,
I am posting a picture of the guys, and I've got a great video that I took from the track we just heard, Shine. We're going to play some other stuff coming up, but they are appearing, if you want to see them, on stage this upcoming weekend at the Lebesnick Art and Artisan Festival, Laugh and Alternative State of Mind this upcoming weekend. Same weekend as Tour de La Porte, same weekend as the Berrien County Youth Fair. There's a ton of stuff in our backyard. We're all over the place.
Right, there is a lot going on, but something I wanted to point out, this song specifically is such an uplifting and relaxing, it's just a beautiful song that the Tour de La Porte, when you said that, it struck me. Another thing that was in the study that we had talked about months and months ago about music therapy was that music really helps cancer patients, which is amazing. I mean, the magnitude of what music can do for us in so many ways is just amazing. And something like this, especially heart patients, any surgical patient, there's a reason they encourage music in waiting rooms and stuff. Is because it's so good for patients before surgery, after surgery. Heart patients, they've done studies with that they recover faster. Stroke patients. Awesome. It's amazing, and a lot of it is the them being able to relax and calm, and the vibration with the body. There's been lots of studies done too about especially stroke patients that are having a hard time with memory and their verbal skills and stuff. That vibration of music, they've done studies on that. I mean, it's amazing. There are so many studies that just tell us how good it is for us to listen to tunes, and this is such a beautiful way.
We related to like Tour de La Porte. We raised money this weekend. Last year we raised about $75,000 collectively, a bunch of us, and participated and did a lot of stuff. But if you look at it, was all for cancer. But if you look at even some of the cancer folks that are out there, my sister died from leukemia at age 6, and I will tell you, when you go to some of these hospitals and guys like you two that go in there, and if someone was to play Shine, or if someone was to play that jam, or even some of the other tracks you sent over, it is just so calming. It puts you in a different state, and I just love it from the heart. I get teary-eyed every time I see even the musicians that are out there that are worldwide, the big dudes and gals and guys that are out there. And it doesn't matter, how big or small, but they take the time on tour, and they're like, they stop, they go into a hospital, and there's 13, 14 kids, and it just makes their day. It takes everything away. Like all the BS of the world.
That's right.
At
least for a moment.
Yes,
yeah.
You're exactly right.
That's pretty awesome.
It's amazing. There are so many studies, like I was saying, but the bottom line is it helps to improve the quality of life for everybody. I mean, the ill, the healthy, it doesn't matter. It really just helps out, reduces depression. I mean, there are so many things that music does for us, especially something so uplifting and beautiful like Shine, like we just heard. So I'm excited to hear another.
Was that track written by you two together, or was that something, Jim, that you had?
The lyrics were written by me, but the music was written by the two of us.
That's great. And so, is that how things evolve, or is it everything different?
No, it is different. It's different as we've gone along. I have a lot more experience with lyric writing and released a lot of songs, but he's a darn good writer in his own right, and the collaborations are starting to expand from that perspective. Because it's only been 3 years, so we're really looking forward to how this is going to morph in the future.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, just because I'm curious. But so how much time do you guys work on your songs and practice and work on the writing? Do you kind of, come up with some new music and say we're gonna kind of think about it separately and then work on it together, or is it always together?
No, it's not always together, but we keep a heavy schedule. First off, we're not the weekend warrior type. We just do music and that's it, full time.
Wow.
And to do that's why we move around so much. Why we're down playing in Florida and Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee a lot, because we want to keep it fresh and make sure that we have enough shows to keep the show on the road and keep
That's nice.
that Lincoln Continental out there full of gas and roll.
It's awesome.
cool.
It's
You know?
so cool, yeah.
But we rehearse 3 days a week religiously. And if we have a full show schedule that week, it might be twice. But we get together, we do the idea thing, and then we go off on our ways. I could tell you that he never stops playing. I mean, he'll come back. We do a practice on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. We do a practice on a Sunday. Come back on Tuesday, and he's written all these amazing parts
Really?
to go into the show. So it's individual and it's combined at the same time. And and of course the shows, they're an excellent opportunity to showcase, but to also rehearse the stuff live. And we do plenty of them. We've been very busy this summer. We've been very blessed. We got a lot going on. I know that Friday we're at Friendly Confines in South Bend, and Saturday we have the Lebesnick Center's Art and Artisan Fest. Saturday, that same evening, we're at Casey's in New Buffalo.
Very
Wow.
cool.
I love that place, playing on the back patio. A lot of fun, a lot of good
Awesome.
times there.
Good
and then the
vibes.
next day we're at the Featherbone in Three Oaks.
Sure,
Michigan,
absolutely.
Wow.
Very
at 3 in the
familiar.
afternoon. So we've been doing well. We get a lot of shows, and it just seems we've opened ourselves up to it, and it's been opening ourselves up to us.
That's so
And,
nice. Can I ask, this might be a little bit personal, but for both of you, what inspires the creativeness as far as writing the music or the lyrics? Is there something specific that you kind of get in that zone and that really inspires you, or is it more or less just when it hits you, it hits you?
For me, it's pretty interesting to write my leads to a lot of stuff, or for songwriting in general. Songwriting in general is a little different than me writing leads to songs. Like when I write leads, I'm going off of feelings, and I'm trying to talk through my guitar. I'm really, speaking a different language here, but hopefully a more vernacular, universal language. We have this song called "Throw That Needle Down," and it's a song that is trying to really hit the heroin problem in
Awesome.
LaPorte, Indiana.
It's crazy.
And
I've lost so many friends to
That's so sad. We
yeah,
actually
so
have
many.
in the works right now. We have in early September the police come and we're talking about drug awareness
Right.
and how real the drug problem is, and signs
Yeah.
and things we can watch for in our own loved ones, and where we can kind of turn for help. So I
It's
think that's amazing that,
one of
you
the-
have something that actually addresses
And
that.
one of the things too, and I'm so glad that you guys have that song finished.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to throw out there. Let's play it later. But what I want to throw out there is there are so many the different courts have been in here, from the highest of the political to the most common middle class person. I think what people don't realize out there with the heroin situation is A, it's cheap. B, it's so readily available. And I'm going to be blunt on Younger Life Live here and on WIMS. When we were younger, and I'm 49, there was all kinds of stuff and whatever. I just can't believe the risks these young people today take. I covered Lollapalooza for both radio stations
right.
on the networks a few weeks back, and I love the music. And Chili Peppers are there, Jane's Addiction performing Ritual de Habitual. All these great bands and musicians were there. The 1975 and Rufus from the EDM era, just great people. And I did not do a thing for the 4 days. I was with my wife, and my daughters were both there, 18 and 22. But the amount of people in the audience that were lit up like trees before they walked in, and I don't just mean partying and just
it's
chillaxing.
stunning.
It was
It's stunning.
insane, over the top, laying on the ground in seizures, which you don't hear a lot about. And I look at these young people, and it's, by the way, it's not just the young people.
Right.
It is the 18 to 21. It's the millennials. It's the 30-somethings. There are people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, because of what is going on in their life. They try that stuff once, and they're instantly addicted. It's like crazy to me So
Well, there's a lot of social pressures in the world today. Look at all the things we've been through in these past 10 years or so with the economy and
Yes.
and the job markets and people in the housing market and the stock market crash. Let's face it, that's what it was. And so it's perilous grounds for everybody these days. They claim things are getting better, and I see some that hope on the horizon myself, via my own opinion. But it's a tough time, and so I think these crutches like alcohol and drugs are unfortunately an easy place to slip into to feel good, and that's a problem because it makes nobody feel good in the long run.
I'm curious, you had said you lost some friends to it. When you lose the friends to it, and obviously you guys wrote a track for it, and love to hear it, but don't the other friends see that? Don't they think that that's going to happen to them? I just don't understand that mindset. And I'm looking back, I always say every 10 years, my whole mojo changes. I've always been a fun, energetic person, but I was always like, man, I'm not going near that.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? You're young, so tell me, what is going through the heads of the young people?
I have given I've talked tons and tons of people out of suicide. I've given tons and tons of people pep talks that I thought were promising and good friends of mine that I wanted them to, shapen up and come back out of the darkness. And what I have found in my journeys and doing that is that there's one very simple thing that basically makes a person like that way, or somebody who aspires to something greater, and it's just you just got to want to do it. And you have to, at some point in time, you have to make that choice. You're at a crossroads, and you have to either choose to do what feels good and what's not productive, or to aspire to make your family proud.
That's why I believe this is more of a mental health issue,
Right.
than anything else,
yeah,
because you could tell them all day long, and look it's like that in all aspects of our society, really. If somebody's just been through a relationship, for instance, and broke up, and you want to console them and tell them it's going to be all right, and they can't hear anything about that. All they can hear is the pain,
Heartache,
of
right.
what's going on, and so really, I think it seems to be more of a mental health issue. But I'm sure that you have definitely made a positive impact on a lot of them people that are your age that you've spoke to, Scott.
And I'm sure your music has too, especially when it's directly related. I hope that people hear that and not just hear it, digest it, and realize why it's so important. I mean, nobody can make those choices for you. Those are choices people have to make for themselves. That's absolutely true. You can tell them all day, you can show them, and that doesn't mean they're going to learn from that, to learn from their own mistakes. But unfortunately, so many people wait until it's too late and they can't turn back, so
it's
I think
a
that's
complicated, difficult situation.
Yes.
It is.
You see things evolve too. It's gotten so ridiculous throughout really the country, the world, that even if you look at some of the TV specials that are out there, and all the craziness, so many of the police departments, not only locally but across the globe, have now had to move it up a step or two because there's so many overdoses, like nonstop. And I look at that and I just shake my head going, wow, you guys are like putting that stuff in your system. And they're not just, it's not just shooting it up. They're snorting it, they're smoking it, they're doing they're ingesting it all kinds of ways.
I think there's light at the end of the tunnel because this has become something to speak about. We're talking about it right now, here this morning. And so that's encouraging. The more that happens and this grows, the more we'll have more specific plans medically and maybe medically from a mental health standpoint to try to get a better grip around this epidemic that's happening and try to tame it down and save lives, and not just the people that are passing away of this, but the death they're causing to the living remaining people. The terrible pain of losing, sons and daughters and brothers and sisters, and husbands and wives.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're talking about it.
I think so too. And I think that I appreciate that you not just having the discussion, but you incorporate a song with that, so people hear that they don't know maybe when they're coming to watch you what beautiful music you play, but then wow, that's pretty wonderful message to put out there too. So I think that's fantastic.
I want to hear him play another song.
I want to hear it too.
All right. Whatever you guys want to play, please set it up.
Let's do El Troubadour.
Let's do it.
Huh? This is an instrumental tune, but we enjoy playing this song.
Okay.
we call ourselves Jordans and James, of course, or the modern day troubadours, and this is our little signature El Troubadour tune.
That
I love
was
that.
phenomenal.
My guitar.
That was great, you guys. So where did that evolve from? I'm just curious. That was beautiful.
When I was when I was studying jazz guitar performance at Indiana University, I acquired a mentor that was flamenco dance teacher mentor. And I just saw him in the halls one day, and I was just like, what is your class? You're playing all this weird music. And he's like, no, it's not weird. It's just a different culture. And I was like, really? Educate me on it. And so he told me all about it, and I eventually started playing guitar for the flamenco dance class. So I was their guitar player for that. So I learned a bunch of stuff. I listened to the greats like Paco de Lucia and Al Di Meola, very amazing flamenco authorities. And I got enlightened on the whole Latin jazz flamenco era, and I love that music very much. And if it's not my favorite, it's probably gypsy jazz, but very close.
It's interesting.
awesome.
Shows, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really shows in
It's
its
so beautiful, you guys together. The collaboration is just, epic. What's cool is I'm a big Al Di Meola fan. My brothers and sisters turned me on all different music in the family. So growing up, it was, when my friends were listening to and I always relate this to in the mid 70s to Captain Antonio Federici was Physical Graffiti and, all kinds of crazy stuff. But one of my favorite releases from Al is Elegant Gypsy. And, and I had the pleasure of seeing him jam. My brother surprised me as a young kid and took me to see Al Di Meola, Wayne Shorter, and Chick Corea. Wow. And I just sat there with my mouth open because I jam. But when you jam, because I went to Catholic school, but I played for all the masses and then jammed through high school and stuff. And I have fun and I love music and it's great. But when you see people like that, who I just mentioned, you're just like, it's kind of like seeing, people be like, who are you going to see? I'm like, Jean-Luc Ponty. They're like, who's that? I'm like, oh, electric violinist, he rocks, But beautiful. I love that you
incredible.
Seriously, it's really, really awesome that you guys are bringing that up.
Cool.
So,
awesome.
Jim,
experience.
yeah, I'm all about what you guys are doing. So you obviously have been around a long time with all the music you've put together. People are texting. Do you have a catalog available for people to purchase and or downloads or whatever?
Yeah, they can. As far as the duo, Jordans and James, that's they can go to www.jordansandjames.com. And as far as stuff that I've released before then, which goes back quite a while, they can go to www.jimstjames.com. And it's just JIMSTJAMES. No period after the ST.
Okay.
After the Saint. Of which I don't really claim that, but it's I strive to do my best. But
sure.
But it's jimstjames.com, and I must have. I think between the two sites, there's got to be at least 70
Awesome.
different individual pieces of music that are on there, going back through the stuff that I've written, back into even into the 90s and some of the 80s.
Can I ask a question here? If I was to pull out, if you're commuting and you're going between, you're on your tour, you're going town to town, community to community, who would be on your iPod right now? Who are you listening to? And it doesn't matter if it's of yesteryear or of today. I'm just curious. I mean, because I throw in all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I don't do that.
Okay, that's cool to know.
I don't do that. I don't iPod. I don't listen to the radio. I hear popular music from the sources that that we're subjected to, like
sure.
going to the grocery store and
sure.
Muzak or whatever the whole case may be. I don't know what they call it these days, but I really don't listen to too much music. Every now and then I'll tune in on Rhapsody or something like that, and I just recently checked out Jake Owen's country song, It Can Buy Me a Boat, which I was very impressed with the songwriting. And I'll look at stuff like that, but not a lot of favorite stuff. When I want to have background music, like say we're doing a barbecue or something, I put on standards.
Good.
I like listening to Sinatra and
all about it.
Dean Martin and all those old.
Tony was just in town over the weekend.
With that word.
Tony Bennett was just in town over the weekend.
Still going.
90.
Yeah.
Celebrated at Ravinia.
Wow, 90.
The same night I was covering the Doobie Brothers, Dave Mason and Journey, and it was great to see. Dave was so incredible to me just because he dabbled into Traffic and vintage Dave, but he ended off talking about his work with Hendrix and at Electric
Amazing.
Ladyland.
Sure.
Oh,
wow.
just incredible. He had the dudes from Little Feat up on stage, and it was just really, really cool. Doobies did a great job as well. Younger Life Live, Rick Federici, Mary Anthony. This is phenomenal today. I just love this.
I think it's great. And you mentioned your family, which I think is key too. I'm curious as to how both of your family has always responded to your music, and have they always encouraged this, or have they always, said, at least find something else?
Well, to begin with, I'll speak for both of us when I say we have very supportive,
That's
family
great.
structure around us. I was watching an Elvis Presley movie as a little kid. I remember that I was wearing the pajamas that had the footies in them. Okay,
Yeah.
goes back. So I'm hoping to God I wasn't wearing them when I was 14. But if I was, somebody straightened me out on that. So I was a young kid, and my dad came home from work, and he says he saw my little feet. I was on the floor with my hands under my chin watching this Elvis. He was singing Jailhouse Rock or something. And he saw my little feet going. He said, "Man, you think you'd like to do that, huh?" I said, "Oh, man, yeah." He said, "You like to do that? Play guitar in front of a bunch of people?" And I said, "Yeah." And I don't know exactly how much longer it was. I think still maybe that same summer, he brought me home a guitar from Jack's Pawn Shop in downtown Gary, Indiana.
Rock on.
Wow.
And that was it. The love affair started. And
That's fabulous.
I've been doing it ever since. So that's for me. And as far as Scott goes,
Yeah, my grandparents and my mom have always been very, very supportive of my music, and I actually learned music from my dad. So he taught me guitar, just the basics, and showed me the ropes on it. And he was I hadn't heard music. I was actually a late start with music. I didn't get an early start, and but I finally heard my dad perform in a barn with his band, our barn at the time, and they were playing music, and I was just like, what are they doing in there, and making all these noises, and I figured out, they were rehearsing, they were recording stuff in there, and so that's when I first got introduced to it, and I just gradually started asking questions like, how do you do that? And he got me a bongo, and worked on my rhythm a little bit for
that's a cool story, man.
couple of years, and then he finally got me a electric guitar, and the rest is history. I just went from there.
That's phenomenal.
It is. It's
You got a new axe out there for the young ones out there. It's guitar and slang. You guys have some beautiful instruments. So what are we going to do here? So you guys are going to do another song, correct?
Caroline, huh?
Okay.
We're going to do a song called Caroline. Yeah,
Awesome.
It's a song that I wrote. We were fortunate enough to have. This song actually went to #1 on the RMR charts, Roots Music Report charts, and I think it was 2008 or something like that. But it's a song that a lot of people that know me like. It's one of the songs that gets played the most and gets the most video hits. And we enjoy our new arrangement on it over these past 3 years with what Scott's doing to it. It's kind of just made it relive, itself again. But it's called Caroline, and it goes like this. I gotta get that bass down. Sometimes I think to myself that I'm better off alone. There's only so much heart inside to break. But I was dreaming late last night, and you were by my side, beckoning my soul into your light. Please be mine, Caroline. I'll be there for you if you want me to. I'll be your star, your shining light. I will walk on the sun through the highest flames to dance with you in the summer rain.
don't even know that I exist. Please be mine, Caroline. I'll be there for you if you want me to. I'll be your star, your shining light. I'll walk on the sun to the highest flames to dance with you in the summer rain. And I'm right here, just open up your eyes. Please be mine, Caroline. I'll be there for you if you want me to. I'll be your star, your shining light. I will walk on the sun to the highest flames to dance with you in the summer rain. And I'm right here, just open up your eyes. I'm right here, just open up your eyes. Caroline. Caroline. Take me back to Caroline. Take me back to sweet Caroline.
And we bring it to a wrap. It's another great edition of Younger Life. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary
And
Anthony.
thanks, you guys were
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
You guys are phenomenal. You guys want to come back again?
We'd love to.
Yes.
We would love that. Yeah. Thank
Don't
you.
forget,
We'll see you at the Lebesnick Center's Arsenite Season Festival.
you got it.
Saturday at 12:30.
Saturday, 12:30. Check these guys out. They're awesome. We'll have more
Amazing.
information, of course, about online. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony.